Greetings and welcome back to the channel where some guy solves these random calculus problems and the occasional differential equations. And today we're going to be solving a nice functional differential equation. And this is a topic that I have become interested in over the past few weeks. And the whole deal about a functional differential equation is, well, the function and its derivative are seen with different arguments, sort of different arguments, like over here. We have f of x plus its derivative f prime, but being evaluated at negative x. And this here equals x squared plus some constant parameter alpha. So we're interested in a function f of x that satisfies this differential equation. And the thing about functional differential equations is that they're pretty interesting. They're actually pretty fun to solve because you get to be creative with your solution developments. But there is one guideline I guess you can keep in mind, and that is to somehow convert this using some nice tricks and mumbo-jumbo mathematics to translate this into something more familiar, something that we've studied in our courses of differential equations. So we have f of x, and we have f prime at negative x. So because we see x and negative x, we might as well try this sort of reflection where we switch from the x to the negative x realm. That gives us f of negative x plus f prime at x equal to x squared plus alpha. And maybe when we're done with this video, we can sort of generalize this for any even function g of x in case of x squared, or I might as well leave that as some kind of homework problem. Yeah, that sounds nice. Anyway, so this is the new structure. So what if I differentiate this once again? And the motivation for that is I would get an f prime at negative x with a negative sign. So differentiating gives me negative f prime at negative x plus f double prime at x equal to 2x, and we're rid of that constant parameter alpha. Now let's call our original differential equation 1 and this one here equation 2. Notice that in one equation we have f prime at negative x, and in the other we have negative f prime at negative x. So if we take the two equations and add them, what we get is these two canceling out. So let me just describe that using a different color. So I have some cancellation taking place here. And now what we have is f double prime of x plus f of x equal to x squared plus 2x plus alpha. And this is good because this is something we're quite familiar with. We have a non-homogeneous linear second-order differential equation. And the trick to solving this is first come up with a characteristic solution by looking at the corresponding homogeneous case. So we have f double prime of x plus f of x equal to 0. In other words, we have f double prime equal to negative f of x. And of course, there's a way to solve this using the characteristic equation, blah, 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 but we could just use some intuitive guesswork, again, just for the fun of it, and for those viewers who have not yet taken a formal course on differential equations. So, yeah, I do have those viewers as well. In fact, I once was quite surprised when someone commented that they actually recommended my channel to middle school kids, and they were concerned with the amount of swearing I've been doing, which is why you've seen a reduction in the amount of, curse words. Anyway, I did find it interesting, though. There would be middle school kids who are interested in integrals. I don't know, is this a glorious time to be a math YouTuber? I'm not sure. Anyway, so looking at the structure, a function when differentiated twice gives its negative self. That would be the trig functions sine and cosine. So both will work, and this implies that the solution f sub c of x, that's the solution to the characteristic equation, equals a linear combination of those two solutions. So it's constant c sub 1 times sine x plus c sub 2 times cosine x, where c1 and c2 are the constants of integration. Okay, cool. But now we need a particular solution to satisfy this requirement on the right-hand side. And this is a second-degree polynomial. And you can apply the method of undetermined coefficients, but when you have polynomials, then it's rather quite easy. It's extremely easy, rather. We can just intuitively get to the solution by taking a guess by doing some guesswork that the particular solution f sub p of x would be, well, let's just try exactly the same polynomial. It's x squared plus 2x plus alpha. If you differentiate this, terribly sorry about that, we get 2x plus 2. And if you differentiate this again, because we have a second order differential equation, so then we have 2. Okay, cool. So that means if I have f double prime of x plus f of x, because that's what the left-hand side of my differential equation was, and if I add them, I do indeed get x squared plus 2x plus alpha plus 2. Now, there's a difference between this function and what you need on the right-hand side. So that means I should add a factor of -2 over here, because that way, when you add them up, we get the -2 and the +2 canceling out, and then we have exactly what we needed on the right-hand side. So yeah, that was pretty easy. This is the particular solution. Now, combining the particular and the characteristic solutions for our general solution, we write f of x equal to c1 sine x plus c2 cosine x plus x squared plus 2x plus alpha minus 2. And we would be inclined to just stop the solution development over here in that we have found a function. But wait, something here is off. Something just doesn't make sense. Let's recall our differential equation, the one we started with. It was f prime at -x plus f of x equal to x squared plus alpha. Now, this is a differential equation of order 1. So you should have one constant of integration. Here, on the other hand, we have 2. That means one of them needs to be eliminated and is perfectly eliminatable, whatever the word is. It's something, one of these constants can be eliminated using the other if we just take derivatives and plug them into this equation. So let me return to the same color. We have f prime of x, that should be c1 cosine x minus c2 sine x plus x squared, plus 2x plus 2, and alpha minus 2 vanishes. And we needed f prime at -x, so that means we have cosine -x. Now, cosine is an even function, so we have cosine x, and the sine function is an odd function, so that means we have c2 times sine x minus 2x plus 2. Okay, cool. So this is f prime at -x, and this here is the function f of x, and we need to add them up. So adding them up, we see that we have, well, f prime at -x plus f of x equal to, we factor out the c1 plus c2 term from both sine x and cosine x. So we factor that out further to get cosine x plus sine x. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yep. Plus x squared, and the 2x and -2x cancel out quite nicely, and so do the positive and the -2's. So we have x squared plus alpha. Now, we only needed this bit, which means that c1 plus c2 should be equal to 0, which implies that c2 is just -c1. Okay, cool. So that means we can finally conclude that the function f of x satisfying our functional differential equation is in fact, what exactly? So in place of c2, I got -c1, right? And there's a cosine x over there. All right, we have c1 times sine x minus cosine x plus x squared plus alpha. That is the function that satisfies our differential equation. And it kind of makes sense that we should have a mix of trig and polynomial functions because, well, the weird structure of the equation we started with. Anyway, I found this solution development quite interesting, and I really like these differential equations. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Be sure to like and subscribe. Do give me a follow on Instagram as well. And if you like the channel, if you like the content I'm putting out, and in case you're learning something, consider supporting the channel on Patreon if you can. Thank you. See you next time.